Hey folks, thanks for watching my video. If you are new to my channel, subscribe now and ring that bell for future notifications. Thanks. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. We are recapping TASM, The Amazing Spider-Man number 21. So without further ado, let's get into it. Spider-Man is being overwhelmed by Vermin's clones. He's fighting to the best of his capabilities, but early on you can see that he's definitely being overwhelmed. And it's definitely taking a toll on him too. Vulture, again, as we learned in the previous issue, he is leading, all the supervillains in this fight against the Kraven bots. But again, also as we learned previously, this is a setup, it is a trap, and Vulture is not aware of that. Also, one thing that I noticed, who is the octopus lady? It almost reminded me of, what is it, Liv? Or is it Viv? Octavius? In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? That's kind of what that character looks like. So if you guys know who that is, comment below and let me know. Again, Spider-Man is being overwhelmed by the Vermin clones, almost to the point of death, like where he could die. And you can even hear in his dialogue, like, he's like, hey, I'm gonna die here. Like, this is the end. I can't win against all these vermin. Like, they're biting and scratching on top of him. There's tons of them, like surrounded all over him and piling on top of him. So it's crazy to the point where like there's not much that he can do at this point. Until Kraven shows up and he ends up helping Spider-Man. And like Kraven shows up with this gun-like device that has, this crazy sound wave that's attached to it. And when he, activates it, all the vermins kind of scatter and flee away. And he ends up saving Spider-Man. And at this point, it's definitely a callback, again, to Kraven's Last Hunt, which you've seen pretty much in this whole Hunted, story arc. It's definitely like a callback to Kraven's Last Hunt. I wouldn't even say necessarily a callback, but more so like a follow-up to that, because if you know anything about Kraven's Last Hunt, which I will be recapping on this channel very soon, because I have that in my collection, Kraven he basically ends up killing Spider-Man, right? He tranquilizes him, overpowers him, pretty much kills him, and he buries him. And at that point, Kraven, in this book, Kraven, he ends up committing suicide and kills himself at the end because he has nothing else to live for. He already killed Spider-Man. He has proven that he is the greatest hunter, and then he is fulfilled. Now, with Kraven being back after all the crazy clone stuff, now it's an interesting thing to kind of see what his motives are. Spider-Man is now in containment with Dr. Kirk Connors. So, once he wakes up, he's in a full new black suit again, and he's like almost like Saw style, where he's got like a chain on his neck and he's chained down. Now, what's pretty much happening here, the only way to save Black Cat and to save Billy, Dr. Kirk Connors' son, is for Dr. Kirk Connors to go full lizard form. Now, the only way to do that is for Spider-Man to take the inhibitor chip off of Dr. Kirk Connors' spine. So once he takes that off, basically Dr. Kirk Connors can activate, his actual stimuli. He can move and, actually be aggressive. Because that inhibitor chip, it basically withholds him from, doing any type of, violent activity. So, any type of fighting, any type of aggression, it basically holds him back. So once Spider-Man takes that off, this is basically their only way to have a chance to defend the people that they care about. And pretty much that's what he does. Like, they kind of go back and forth for a second, but Spider-Man takes that inhibitor chip off of Dr. Kirk Connors, spine, and then he goes, full lizard form. And then, we see him turn into that lizard, and, pretty much that concludes this particular issue going into, the next. So, to give you the full recap, what's happening? We have Kraven's, Kraven Jr., Kraven's, clone son. He's, and this guy is super, powerful, super strong. Black Cat and Billy, they don't stand a chance against him, right? Like, that's just obvious. So, he's, going after them, and, Kraven has it set up where, like, either they're going to watch the people they love die, or, they can do something about it. And the only way that they can, fight back is, for, Dr. Kirk Connors essentially to lose control. Now, we'll see what happens. Will he be able to, control, the abilities of the lizard, or will he also kind of be, a risk and kind of another, danger that's in the midst of this whole craziness? So we'll see what happens as we continue to read. Guys, also one thing I want to do, because I even mentioned it in If you haven't been reading these comics, please go and check them out. I'm recapping them. They are fantastic. I'm telling you guys this because it's definitely for a reason. Spider-Man life story. These comics, you guys, are so good. And something that happened in just the last issue in number 3, we get kind of another callback to Kraven's Last Hunt. And that's one book that I own in my own personal graphic novel collection that I will definitely recap that for you guys because it is such a good book. Definitely a good read. If you want to buy that book and add it to your collection, I will post a link for you to purchase that on Amazon. So I'll post that in the description below. But definitely go and check that out and be expecting that here on my channel soon because man, is that such a good book. I love that book. If you're a Spider-Man fan, that's definitely something that I would say is necessary for you to know in terms of like the Spider-Man comic book history. That's something you should definitely add to your knowledge and to your collection if you can. Guys, I enjoyed this, whole story. And something that I've noticed and that I really like and that I feel that is just refreshing for this whole Hunted, story arc, you get a lot of the villain perspective, which is just so fresh and so new for these Spider-Man comics. Mind you, this is a Spider-Man comic book. And obviously, he has his moments, but something that I think that has just been so cool and like I said, very refreshing, is getting that villain perspective. Sometimes in one entire issue where you don't even see Spider-Man at all, but it's really just focused in on like what's happening in the exterior parts of his life, with the people that are involved and the villains. So I think that that's really cool what they've done so far. And I'm just excited to really see the bigger purpose unfold and the motives behind this whole Hunted arena and what Kraven is really up to. So if you guys like this video, make sure you hit that like button, share it out. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. I have video content coming out every weekend. So yeah, definitely subscribe, because man, a lot of good stuff coming the way. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you here next time, next issue. Peace out, guys. Wham, bam, boom.